All right. So, happy Saturday, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope everybody's doing well. Here in Texas, it was super, super foggy this morning, which was cool. I wish I had had my camera with me when I was out this morning. So today we're gonna still be working with the acrylic markers, but we're actually gonna be working with them on canvas today, which is a little bit different. Usually we're working in the sketchbook, so I just wanted to see how they perform on an actual little canvas. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us right into the mix here and start working on this frog eye. Normally I wouldn't go with the black first necessarily, but I feel like for this one it's gonna work better if I start with black and then kind of work up to light from the black in terms of the eye and the iris and everything. Like I've mentioned before on stream, I think bats are definitely my favorite animal, but I do also really love frogs. So we've got a lot of bat themed stuff here on the channel, but we've drawn frogs a couple of times on stream. The plan also is to start and finish this painting on stream, and then I'll be listing it soon after on Etsy for sale. Okay. I think I'm probably going to paint the whole iris black for now, and then work up from there, like I said. I actually have a lot of greens and blues in my set here, so I'm excited to try those out for this. All right, here's our first black coat going down. My first observation with using these on canvas would probably be that you can feel like the wateryness to them more, whereas like on the paper they're super flat and opaque, and here even the black is seeming like a little bit more transparent, so that could be interesting as we go along here. See how we can use that to our advantage. It definitely feels like you know, having your acrylic slightly watered down, like you just wet your paintbrush and then dipped it in the paint. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry a little bit because it feels like it's probably pretty wet. And then I'm gonna move on a little bit to the surrounding eyelid area. So first I'm gonna go in with this color. It's actually a gold, but I feel like I can make it look a little bit more like an olive green as we go. And I think it'll give some nice visual interest.
I'm hungry.
Oh man, Xena's hungry and Alan Prince isn't here to feed her yet. Alright. So let's see. I think I'm gonna also go ahead and use this to fill in lots of area. Because you know me, I like to get everything filled in. This one is still looking pretty opaque, just by it being on the canvas. You move these into frame just in case. So folks are interested in what kind of marker it is. There it is right there. Going to get this darker green out. I just want to make sure that I save these creases in here. It's also neat doing studies like this because I'm getting to kind of pay attention to what frogs look like close up, you know, doing a study, learning from that. So the frog here is accomplishing multiple goals for me personally. I really like frogs and wanted to paint a frog for one. I also resigned from my job this week and I'm going to be focusing just on making art for a living. And most of my paintings are pretty weird, to be honest. So I also want to make sure I have some stuff that's a little bit more palatable for folks who are maybe not quite as odd as I am. But still really enjoyable for me to create. So I was reading about the American bullfrog and like frog eyes right before starting this, and my understanding is that as you can see, this guy has like a more horizontal slit, right? Or is it a vertical slit that's open? Golly. Well, I'll speak generally then. The horizontal slits in terms of frog pupils, I guess, allow them to be able to see movement, like vertical movement better. And then frogs that have vertical eye slits, it helps them notice horizontal movement better. So I guess depending on what type of prey they have, what they want to eat. I feel like these markers are a exciting proposition for me because I started out as a drawer, and when I was an undergrad in art school, yeah, I started out as a drawing major, and I wanted to be a painting major later on, but I found out I was allergic to oil paint while taking an oil painting class, so that was kind of rowdy. Um, but at that time, they really only taught oil painting where I was going. That was like the primary um, media that they taught, and I just couldn't be in a classroom filled with other people that were doing oil paint. And some of the oil painters were also kind of uppity about oil paint versus acrylic paint, which I didn't really like. So anyway, I ended up switching to printmaking because I took a basic printmaking and then a lithography class and really liked it. But anyway, that was a really roundabout way of saying I like using these markers because they kind of cater to my tendency to be more of a drawer first and, painter, whatever, second. I think brush economy is still something that I am working on getting better at. And I think because I feel like it has more to do with thinking in terms of shapes and not just line. And my brain is very line. As in, how do I make this shape with a bunch of lines versus how do I make this shape, with one line, one brush stroke, basically? How do I use the shape of the brush stroke to accomplish a shape? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of a different way of thinking about stuff. Okay, I feel like the white of the eye on this frog, it looks kind of minty. Like a mint green more than a pure white. All right. Now I think we're going to start getting into the part that I'm most excited about, which is okay, wait. Before I do the part I'm most excited about, let me actually start working on. I know I tricked you guys. On some of the shines that are on here. I'm kind of experimenting in terms of what layer I want to do first. And this shine is perhaps too intense, but more so than I was hoping, but we'll see. Okay. Let's try this one now.
Nice to meet you. I'm Xena.
This is sort of the reflection of the sky in the frog's eye. And I'd like to add some like tree shapes and stuff like that in there too as we go. I learned on the last stream that I can kind of wet into wet blend these a little bit. Which is also cool because that's sort of how I paint anyway. I like mix my colors a little bit, but I do a lot of mixing on the canvas in the moment. For better or for worse, that's, you know, sort of how I prefer to work. All right, now let me put this blue into this other blue and kind of mix into here. Nice. Okay. Yep. I'm liking that. Great. Man, I love it when a plan comes together. So good. Okay. I'm gonna try to get this shape a little bit more neutral so then when I add the landscape in, I'm not going back and forth between blue and black. All right. All right, we are definitely making progress, which I love. Okay. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of this. I hope everybody is doing great, getting ready for holidays and stuff like that if you celebrate, or, you know, I know the holidays can also be a really difficult time for some folks, and I hope that you enjoy the season. regardless of if you like or celebrate Christmas and stuff. I hope you get some rest, relaxation. All right, I think that's going to be a pretty good spot. Now, now I'm going to go in and add. I forgot which one of these markers I picked up. I think it might have been this one. All right. I've always really liked the textures that eyes have in general, you know. No matter whether it's a human or a frog or whatever. That said, frogs do have some pretty cool textures in their eyes. I think this is going to work pretty well for the kind of transparent and mottled look that the eyes have. You know who I forgot again is PNG tuber me. Oh my goodness. I think not today, but maybe tomorrow or something I might end up trying some streams where I do have my webcam turned on and just see how that goes too. I don't know about y'all, but this is pretty relaxing for me. So I hope it's relaxing for you to watch too. Yeah, I'm excited. This is going pretty much to plan at this point, so that's great. You can see our frog brand coming together real well here. The color is definitely like a lot more saturated in real life, but oh yay, we got a new spam comment. I love it. Okay. Let me just get rid of that real quick. All right. The streamer boo bots really seem to like to come to this channel. I'm flattered. As I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted by a bot. I think the colors in real life are a little bit more saturated. Like this looks, to me, it looks a little bit more green in real life. Whenever I post these on Instagram or, well, and Etsy, I make sure that the photos are representative of what it looks like in person. Oh, there's some nice little green speckle bits that come down from this stripe that goes around that eye, around the iris. No, pupil, around the pupil, excuse me. All right, so that's fun. I'm working on this bit. I think I want to take a pause to work on the area around the eye for a little while, so we can kind of give that some attention, build it up a little bit more. I feel like I actually want to reduce the volume of this here, which is totally possible. Because, like I've said, these can paint over each other and themselves pretty well. I'm going to mute for a second because I think my dogs are about to go crazy. So I'm going to mute my mic for a second. Well, they were surprisingly chill and didn't actually bark at all at the thing that I thought they were going to, um, which is good. But so, as you can see, I think we've got some nice mixing going on in the background here now that I think is working out pretty well. I feel like it's kind of the sky being reflected onto the frog, onto his little wet body. Might want to add some brownish grays in here too. Oh. I think probably uses blue also as like the shine that's going around eyelid here. And I'll add some more light blue to it as well. Oh, we need to get some more darks in here, and then we'll add in more of the light blue color. All right, let me see if I've got. This looks like it could be good. It's sort of a grayish brown, like a cool gray brown color. Oh, it's a lot lighter, actually, than I was expecting. Sometimes you can't quite tell with these markers this also looks really light. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Let's see.
Did you know you can pet me? Check out the pet cafe.
She's always ready. Always ready to be petted and fed. My dog is just walking all around in here right now. Pacing. You can hear her cute little toenails on the floor. This is a different kind of acrylic marker, but it's all acrylic, so should be fine together. This one's a pretty nice green, and it'll give us some more depth, some more dark green where we need it. This color that we had earlier might actually be good right here. Might be a little tough to see on camera, but I'm switching back between some light green and light blue to build up the light values, the kind of shiny areas where the sky is kind of getting picked up on his shininess, on his wetness. Let's see. Well, I think he's looking pretty good so far. I'm excited about all the progress we've made in less than an hour.
Welcome Alan Prince.
Oh, Alon Prince says the glare on the eye is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Like I had discovered last stream, I can kind of mix these wet into wet. So I did like black and a couple blues here and mixed them together to get sort of a sky reflection started. I think I'm liking mixing wet into wet on these a lot. It helps me get a lot more in between colors and values than I have in the markers. Very effective. Also, Zena said my name right. Good customer service. I didn't even realize that. She said Alon Prince. That's crazy. Maybe she's learned it as she's evolved, as she's leveled up, because you fed her so many treats. Alon. Let's see. I'm gonna try see what this color ends up looking like on here. I think this is pretty dark. Yeah. Let's check out. This was the right one I had before. Let's see. Green. This one's brighter. I guess it's just starting to look a little bit more saturated. All right, let me see. I want to add a little bit of add some depth over here on the side of the eye. It's calling out to me right now. I don't know, but this is pretty fun. I can foresee potentially drawing more frog eyes on the channel. Let's see. I'm gonna overdraw this a little bit and see if I can blend it together nice with this minty green. Yeah, that's working. And then probably overdraw this a little bit too. And just smooth it out a tiny bit on the edges. And now I want to add some more darkness into this pupil. Go back in with a second layer of that black. Let's see if I add in some little trees, maybe. I think that looks like something. All right. And I think I want to smooth out this edge right here more. Okay. Add a little bit of shape variation to this. All right, I feel like it's getting very froggy. Extremely froggy. Okay. I would like to get in a pretty saturated lime green. Let me see what I've got here. Is this one saturated? It is kind of saturated. It's a little bit more yellow maybe than I want right now, but let's go ahead and go for it. Add in kind of some overall texture. And adding some of this everywhere is going to change our kind of overall green. Create like the illusion of it being a altogether different green. I think I need to also, let's get some more in this back area and then I'll work on the brow more. I'd like this part back here to look a little bit more out of focus, so that's why I'm keeping it extra loose back here. More watery. And then getting all my markers everywhere again. Oh yeah, I think I made this one by mixing the blue and green together, so that's why it doesn't look quite the same.
Nice to meet you. I'm Xena.
Xena just always reminding us that she's still here. Hanging out with her Christmas tree. Alrighty. Okay, now I will figure out this upper eyelid brow area here. I'm just gonna go ahead and go in dark first. And then see what we can do. It's got a lot of texture to it, and that's usually the type of stuff that makes my eyes feel confused, so I'm gonna try to start out with doing the dark and working up from that. Let's see, do I have an even brighter blue? Let's see. That'll be nice to add in. And then I'm figuring stuff out here as I go, so I need to kind of move back and forth between colors as I realize what's going on. Okay, so it's like shine and then dark. Do that all the way across so I don't forget. Okay. I just realized Alon said we met before when Santa introduced herself. Progress, progress. Yeah, definitely getting closer where I want to be on these little pokey bits. Okay. I'll go ahead and get this going here. And then make sure this kind of comes down here. And then we'll do a little bit more like this. All right, what are we thinking so far? This is very satisfying. Very satisfying drawing a little frog eye. Never have I ever drawn a frog eyeball study before.
Check out the Pando Pet Cafe to play with me.
She's not subtle. Just for reference, do y'all see how many grains and stuff I've been using? It's a lot. My dog's came trotting in here, so excited. All right. I like it so far. Okay. There's a little separation here between the top of, I guess, what's the iris and eyelid. I didn't realize I'm pulling that a little bit off frame. Dude, this green is a little bit too light for what I want right now. Go back to this one. And let's see. He does kind of have some little pores and stuff on him, so I'll draw a few of those. Let's see. And I'd like to add a little bit of black, not overwhelm it. We good, I think. Okay. And then same here. Okay, so let me do a little bit of this business. Get mixing like 3 different markers together here. Just want to get some darker values in this middle area of the lower eyelid. think that's definitely looking better. Now we're gonna try something similar here. Lay down a bunch of this. So I need it to be darker in this area. We're gonna go back in. So here's how it's looking so far. I think we're getting pretty close. Keep trying the mixing technique over here. Need some more shadow on this part to create more volume. do feel like he's a lot more lime green in real life, but all right. Now I think I'm gonna add. Um, I'm gonna up the teal in his eyes a little bit more. Let's see what this one looks like.
Nice to meet you. I'm Xena.
What do y'all think so far? Pretty froggy, shiny, eyebally. Chad says be froggy. Good, that was what I was going for. All right. Yeah, a little bit more brights in here. And then we'll be getting pretty close to done, I think. Okay, I think I want to go ahead and add a little bit more brightness up here. I might even want to just get it closer to white. And this is still slightly off white. Just want to have a little bit more crispness up here. think I just have a couple more spots to add some darkness to make our frog kind of pop out of the background a little bit more.
I'm hungry.
As always.
It's delicious, Alan Prince.
Thank you for feeding Sigma.
Are refreshing. Thanks, Alan Prince.
And hydrating Xena. Let's add a little bit more gold for fun here.
Level up.
Oh my gosh, finally. What is that? Level 7 now, I think.
Alan Prince changed colors.
I don't get what part of them changes colors. I don't know. I wonder if I had a different like skin on her or something, if she would change colors. All right. I feel like it's pretty good to go. So just I added a little bit more. But really. I think that looks pretty good. All right, well, I think I'm done with this guy. Alan Prince said, "That's crazy. It's so realistic. Do you sell your stream paintings?" Most of the ones I've been doing recently have been in a sketchbook, so I haven't been doing that. But this one I'm gonna put up on my Etsy within the next couple of hours, and it'll be for sale for anybody that would like a big frog eye. I think I'm gonna start doing that in the future because the markers worked out pretty good on canvas. I think they were a successful experiment here. Let's see. I think it's a 6x6. Let me double check. No, I don't have a ruler, but I'm pretty sure it's 6x6. I will definitely measure it before putting it up for sale. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this frog eye today. I think we're probably going to do more frog eyes because this was really fun. So I will see you later. Most likely tomorrow, maybe later today if I get a wild hair and I want to make more frogs sooner than that. All right. Let's see if there's anybody that we want to raid, maybe. I don't know. Any thoughts? I think the folks that the other artists that I would normally raid are not online right now. Let me just do a quick. I don't know, y'all. We may not raid today and just save that for another time because I'm not sure who I want to raid right now. All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for checking out the stream. I'm also going to put this up on YouTube so that when the Twitch video expires, if you're interested in, buying the painting, especially, you can still have access to watching the video of it being made. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later. Thanks so much, everybody.